She told me she was on a trip with friends, but I found her at a restaurant holding another man's hand. When they ordered pizza, I served divorce papers instead. I am 28, and for 4 years I thought I had a perfect marriage. From the outside, everything looked amazing. We went on trips, celebrated holidays with each other's families, took pictures smiling together, and even posted on social media like we were the happiest couple alive. I trusted her completely. I believed that she loved me as much as I loved her. But that Friday morning changed everything. She told me she was going on a short trip with her friends. Just 10 days to relax, she said casually, packing her bags, choosing her outfits, and talking about the places they would go. She spoke with a smile that seemed a little too bright, a little too careful. Something in me twitched. A small feeling I had ignored for weeks became impossible to push away. Deep inside, I knew something was wrong. First, I tried to ignore the feeling. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But my gut refused to let me rest. I needed to know the truth. Not because I wanted to accuse her, but because I couldn't pretend everything was fine when I had this growing unease. So I decided to follow her. Quietly, carefully, keeping my distance so she wouldn't notice. My heart was beating fast, full of anxiety and fear. Part of me hoped I would be silly for doubting her. Part of me already feared the truth. She didn't drive out of town. She didn't meet her friends. She went to a restaurant in the city. I parked across the street watching, and then I saw them. My wife was sitting across from another man, laughing, smiling, and reaching across the table to hold his hand. My heart stopped. The pain was instant. Shock, betrayal, anger, sadness. Every emotion hit at once. I sat there, frozen, watching them talk and laugh like I didn't exist. My mind raced. I wanted to run, to cry, to scream, to confront her. But something in me stayed calm. I knew this moment needed to be handled carefully. My marriage, what I thought was my life, was already gone, and I decided I would end it on my own terms. I stayed hidden for minutes, observing. She was smiling, talking, holding hands with another man. Then she ordered pizza. Hearing that made something inside me click. Pizza. Our shared late-night memories, our inside jokes, our quiet moments together over a simple slice. Now it was being shared with him. That was enough. I knew what I had to do next. I took a deep breath and walked into the restaurant calmly, as if I belonged there. My heart was racing, but my face stayed neutral. I didn't want to make a scene. I didn't want to yell. I just needed to do what I had decided. She was sitting across from him, their fingers still intertwined. I could see the moment my presence caught her attention. Her eyes went wide, and her hand tried to pull away, but it was too late. I walked right up to their table, acting calm, almost like a stranger. The entire restaurant fell silent as everyone noticed something was happening. I placed a neatly folded envelope on the table and said clearly, "Here's your order. Divorce papers instead of pizza." Her face turned pale. She tried to speak, to say something, but no words came out. Her hands trembled slightly, and the man sitting across from her looked confused and nervous. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just smiled slightly, turned around, and walked away without looking back. The silence behind me felt heavy, but I didn't care. That small envelope was more than paper. It was freedom. It was the end of lies, betrayal, and broken trust. For years, I had loved her completely, believed in her, and shared my whole life with her. And that day, I took back my life. I didn't need drama or revenge. I needed clarity. I needed peace. As I left the restaurant, I felt a strange sense of relief. My heart still hurt, but I walked with my head held high. I knew I had made the right choice. Some people may never understand why I did it that way, calm and precise. But I did not want to waste another second on someone who would betray me. The day taught me something important. Betrayal hurts deeply, but courage and clarity can heal faster than anger. I walked away that day not broken, but strong. I had given her a chance to see the truth, and I had given myself a chance to move on. Life would go on, and I was ready to start a new chapter, free from lies, free from pain, and free from anyone who didn't truly respect me. As I walked away from the restaurant, my mind was flooded with memories. I remembered the first time I met her, how her smile had felt like sunshine, how every small gesture made me believe I had found someone truly special. I thought those years were ours, built on trust, laughter, and love. But now, sitting on the sidewalk, watching people walk past me, I realized how easily that illusion had shattered. Every moment we had shared was not less real, but it carried a new weight. I could see now that I had loved not just her, but an idea of her. The pizza, the hand-holding, that simple moment at the table. It was a symbol of everything that had changed. She had chosen to share moments that were once ours with someone else. And in that choice, she had shown me who she really was. I felt anger, of course. I felt pain. But I also felt a strange sense of empowerment. I was no longer trapped by denial, by waiting, by hoping that she would stay true. I knew then that I could choose my own life, separate from the lies she had built around us. I thought about all the times I had trusted her without question. Times when I had given up sleep to make her happy. Times when I had sacrificed my comfort for her needs. Times when I had listened to every small complaint and tried to make her feel loved. And now I saw that trust had been betrayed. The realization stung deep, but it was also liberating. I didn't have to stay in a relationship that did not respect me. I didn't have to beg for her loyalty. I could move on, and I would. After leaving the restaurant, I didn't go home immediately. I needed time to process everything, to let my emotions settle, to breathe. I walked through the streets, watching couples laugh, friends talk, families share moments. It was strange how life went on around me, completely unaware of my heartbreaking day. And that gave me a small comfort. Life didn't end because of betrayal. Life went on, and I would go on too. Later, I thought about the divorce papers, the way I had delivered them. Some people might see it as cruel, but I saw it differently. I gave her clarity, just as I gave myself clarity. I didn't yell, I didn't beg, I didn't stare at her in shame. I took control of the situation, and that control was everything. Freedom, respect, dignity. All of it returned to me that day. And with that power, I knew I could rebuild my life, step by step, away from the lies and heartbreak. I remember thinking how strange it was that something as small as pizza could be the turning point. Something that represented comfort, joy, and shared moments became the catalyst for ending a chapter that had turned toxic. And as I walked further away from the restaurant, I felt lighter. Lighter because I had faced the truth. Lighter because I had acted. Lighter because I had chosen myself over a relationship that had stopped respecting me.